150 years, 1872 to 2022, Super Ally McCoist, arguably the greatest Rangers striker of all time, scoring a record 355 goals in all competitions. During his 15 years with Rangers, McCoist achieved an array of honours, including 10 League Championship medals, which included the whole 9 in a row period between 1989 and 1997. This success and goal-scoring record won him the European Golden Boot 2 years in a row, and is still to this day the only Scot to ever do so. McCoist also held the title for the most goals scored by a player in European competitions for Rangers, until this was overtaken by a certain Alfredo Morelos. McCoist is also third in the all-time appearance table for Rangers, having made 581 appearances for the club. McCoist succeeded Walter Smith as Rangers manager in 2011 and stayed when some may have walked away when Rangers were put into administration. He won successive promotions to the second tier and left the club in 2015. McCoist is now a cult hero as a football pundit and has worked across many sports broadcasters. A Rangers man through and through, and only ever wanted the best for our beloved club. He will always be welcome at Ibrox and forever has a place in the hearts of Rangers fans over all generations. One of a kind, and most certainly one of the greatest Rangers players of all time. He lived the dream. Mr. Ally McCoist. Hello everyone and welcome to Club Preview here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. I am your host for the preview this week. I am Scott Carney, and joining me on this fine Friday evening is Ali Pearson. First of all, how are you, Alistair?
Very well, looking forward to the weekend. The weather looks scorching for this time of the year. Tomorrow, me and Scotia are at the B team game tomorrow, so could be a couple of beer gardens after the match tomorrow, Scotia.
Yes, Scott Gemmell, how are you?
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm doing well. We were speaking off air there. You can tell that the summer's kind of coming because my room heats up when the sun shines directly into it, and it's quite warm in it at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. I worked outside for a wee bit today as well, and it was rather nice actually, on a t-shirt only, which is very unusual. Not really used to it. So yes, first of all, I need to thank the gentleman for stepping in my absence last night. A family matter popped up for me, so I missed quite a chunk of the game. So I appreciate Ali and Scott jumping in and saving the day. And yes, we are live on YouTube tonight. So yes, get involved in the comments. I say I am hosting and doing the comments, so it's what could possibly go wrong with this professional podcast. With me doing both, I will try my hardest to keep up with you all as we go through the show. And just before we get into things, a quick shout out for our YouTube membership. You can become a Club at 22 supporter for only 99p, and coming very soon is our first ever exclusive live YouTube show with our supporters, so there's never a better time to join. If you don't fancy becoming a member, you can support the podcast by buying us a coffee. The link in the description for this podcast if you would like to do so. And as always, please like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. 2 wee clicks for you that cost nothing, but it makes a massive difference to us and really helps support the podcast. So, gentlemen, only one place to start, and that is last night. Not a performance to remember. I think that's fair enough to say. However, we did more than enough on reflection to see ourselves through that tie over 2 legs, and most of the work was clearly done on the first leg. Obviously, the guys brought a reaction to it last night. If you want to a bit of a breakdown of the game, it was a very good breakdown for last minute stuff. So you can go back and check out from last night, obviously after this podcast. So I just really want to speak about the achievement and the magnitude of what Rangers have managed to achieve. Ali, this is. We're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to get to this stage of the competition. And yes, last night might have been a bit of a slog to watch, and it was. We didn't perform well enough, really, to really deserve even a draw out the game, if we're going to be completely honest. However, Kent's goal killed the game. As soon as Kent scored, that was it. And we are in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Dare we dream, mate? Dare we dream?
Well, we're allowed to dream. We're in the quarterfinals. Obviously, you'll come on to who we drew against in the draw today, but that was a great achievement by Rangers. I did say if Rangers nicked a goal out there, I thought it was over. And as soon as we nicked the goal, I did think it was over at that point. They kind of deflated them, to be honest, when we nicked that goal. Run their play, they probably deserved to win the game overall, to be honest, last night. So it was a fair result. Alan McGregor kept us in, rode our luck a wee bit. But no, it's a huge achievement, Buzz, to get the quarterfinals. Like you say, it's not designed for teams like Rangers and probably teams like West Ham as well, because I listened to them last night going on about as if West Ham were some diddy team that had rose through from the Vauxhall Conference all the way to the Premiership and had no money to spend. It was actually quite... I don't know if you listened to that last night, Carly. I'm going off track a wee bit, but it was extremely cringeworthy last night. Joe Cole and the other Cole that played up front for them. In fact, I played for Celtic as well, him. We're going on and on and on and on about how great this achievement was for West Ham. And I'm thinking, West Ham should be doing this. West Ham have got lots of money to spend. But I just thought it was ridiculous. That's why I wanted to draw them today, to bring them back down to earth. But in terms of Rangers...
Confidence.
Well, Joe Cole apparently last night, that's the best atmosphere he's ever heard at a football ground. So I thought, well, you've never been to Ibrox, obviously. So... Yeah. I don't want to go on about West Ham last night, but it kind of annoyed me last night. So I'm like, what do they see down there half the time? But no, it's a great achievement by Rangers, and yeah, I mean the path's there. You'll come on it, Carney, and it's an achievable path. It really is.
Yeah, it definitely is. I was just on the West Ham thing. I went into work today, and we have a few people from down south up helping out just now as we get things ready, and. I walked in and they're all like, obviously, the first thing I tell anybody when I meet them is, I'm a Rangers fan, who do you support? Literally, that's the first thing I say. So everybody knows that I'm a Rangers fan already. So there's a few guys, one guy's a Leeds United fan and our guy's a Oldham fan, I think's the other one. And one's a Liverpool fan. And they were just like, oh, this is amazing for Rangers, this is superb and whatever else. And then I did catch that wee bit about what you're talking about at West Ham, and I'm like, West Ham's budget compared to us it's mental. It is like it's you kind of compare it to like if when St Johnstone got to the final last year, it's like, oh, St Johnstone couldn't have done this with a budget, Rangers and Celtic or whatever else. And I'm like, well, it's kind of the same thing. Rangers shouldn't be at this stage in the competition. It is a massive achievement. Okay, we are one of the biggest spenders in Scotland. However, in comparison to what West Ham spend, I mean, I would imagine a season ticket for West Ham is probably more than we pay, and that's probably not for a very good seat because it's in London. It's that stadium, they had to pay for that stadium when they got there. But yeah, this for Rangers is huge, absolutely huge. And yeah, I just kept saying it to myself. I was like, we're in the quarterfinals. Scotia, how much room's in that wee bed sit thing you've booked in Seville?
It's not a bed sit. It's a proper apartment. You'll have I think it's 4. I think I didn't get the one that had 6. I left that too long, but I think it's 4 this one. So there's a couple of spaces spare if anyone's looking.
So what's your thoughts, Scotia, on the kind of magnitude and the achievement of this for Rangers?
Yeah, first I've got more to say on the sort of English punditry when we come to the draw kind of stuff, but I'll leave that there for the moment. And let's get back to talking what's important, and that's Rangers. Yeah, last night was incredible. The more I've thought about it today, although we lost and straight after the game, you're feeling a wee bit disappointed that you've lost. Reflecting back on it today, it was actually a fairly decent performance because I'm guilty of it, and I think quite a lot of people are guilty of it, that you forget these are games played over the 2 legs. It doesn't really matter if you just have a slightly poor performance in one of the nights. It's over the whole 180 minutes, and Rangers were absolutely magnificent because they got the 3 goals in the first leg, and like Ali says, we all knew that, I think we were all feeling that if we get that 1 goal, then that'll be enough to see us through. So I thought the team managed it fairly well, because if you think back to when Barcelona overturned that 4-0 defeat to PSG back a few years back now, like, it's not over in one tie. You need to win it over the 2 legs. So no, I was very impressed with last night. And then I was looking through just the Europa League in general, and sort of like you're saying, Rangers aren't supposed to be there. Looking at the kind of teams that were knocked out, you had Leicester, Marseille, and dare I even say it, Celtic were all knocked out in the group stages of the Europa League. And then in the last 16, you had Lazio, Zenit, Napoli, Real Sociedad, and we obviously put out Dortmund. Teams like that going out. And then last night, Sevilla, Porto, Leverkusen, Monaco's and your likes go out. So when you put us next to those kind of teams that have been having quite decent sustained periods of success in Europe over the last 10 years from where we were, then it's just ridiculously good how it is to be a Rangers fan right now.
It's tremendous. And I've just seen a comment pop up there about the money aspect as well for the club. It's really good financially for the club. I know the Europa League doesn't pay what the Champions League pays, but it's massive. Rangers now can afford to charge, and they will. They will for the next round. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Looking forward to that. We'll come on to that a wee bit. But I think it's just financially as well. And for Scottish football, I mean, it's incredible that we've managed to get here. I actually seen, I was a stat going about that I think the Moonhowlers are saying, oh, but they get more points than us in the group. Is that true? Is that actually true? Or did they talk?
But it doesn't matter. They get put out, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they got put out. Yeah, but I suppose that's what we should have been aiming for, just to get more than Celtic. Yeah, obviously, it's huge. I'll not have anybody play it down. It's an absolutely massive achievement by Rangers. Also, as well, so last night the probably best two performance for after I've watched it back as well. I don't know if you agree. We'll go by your post match that it was Ally McGregor and probably John Lundstrom. Ally, we've got a great hit record at writing players off and they come back and slap us in the face, mate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who else we can have a go at the moment. See if they'll come back and just have a go at the whole team, to be honest. But no, I mean, I think we've been fair in terms of our criticism on McGregor in the league. He has cost us points this season, McGregor, in the league, and
yeah,
that's a fact. He has. I know his defence at times doesn't help him, but we've said for God knows how long he doesn't come off his line. In fact, he did last night at one point. I know it was one of them where he did come off his line and he actually won the ball. And I thought, Christ, is that actually Ally McGregor there? But, maybe he took confidence while he saves. But he's designed for big games. Games in Europe, games against Celtic. That's what he's designed for. And again, last night, he pulled us out a hole a couple of times last night. If that game had went, especially obviously just before half time and just the start of the second half, he pulls off a couple of great saves. If that goes 2-0 at that point, it's dodgy. They've got their tails up. You don't know how we're going to react. But that's why he's here, Ally McGregor, and that's why Gio said pretty much, I know most of the Rangers fans, I would say, were calling for McLaughlin to come in, but Gio's always said, no, he's the number one McGregor. I'm going to stick by him, and he's been proven correct in Europe at the moment. So, hopefully he continue. Hopefully he's coming into a purple patch now, McGregor. And we've said a couple of players are coming into a purple patch now, and hopefully McGregor is as well. So, he was outstanding last night, McGregor, and he was doing the dark arts last night, the shithousery and all that. And yeah, he was brilliant last night, McGregor. He really was.
Yeah, Scotia as well. I think we can't really underestimate how pivotal a role John Lundstrom is playing in the way that Gio likes to play in this system. Again, another one that's just, he's going from strength to strength and he's putting in an incredible amount of effort just now. He really is. He's playing the boots off himself. Yeah,
Lundstrom's been absolutely great. And in fact, all four of us did say during January that we can't really see a place for Lundstrom in the team going forward, and how wrong were we? Because right now he is probably one of the first names in the team sheet. He's just been brilliant. You know, he's taken his opportunity and just ran with it. I've seen a couple of tweets about like there were Sheffield United fans kind of winding Rangers fans up, going, "Oh, he's rubbish." But now look at him. That's him into the quarterfinals of the Europa League while they're in the Championship still. So no, Lundstrom is again proven us wrong. So I was really impressed with him. Ali, see when you were talking about the McGregor shithousery and stuff like that, and one of the times he came off his line, it's when he clattered right into the back of Bassey. I'm fairly certain he's fairly certain he's told Bassey, "You just stay down," whispered in his ear.
Yeah, I love just saying to him, "Big man, I'm about to give you a sore one, by the way, so you're going to need to stay down after it." Yeah, he was brilliant, and the save that he made from the shot they had at the edge of the box. If you watch it back, he actually moves his position to get himself in a better position as it happens because he's anticipating the shot. It's a fantastic save, it really is, and yeah, he's kind of shown us all up. The guy's 40 years old. He just shouldn't be shouldn't be doing that. He really shouldn't. And the conversation's going to roll on about McGregor, about whether we should be resting him and only playing him in big games. But when he's in this kind of form, I mean, you can't really drop him. He's obviously watched our podcast and realised, the lads at Club at 22 are not very happy with us, with me, so I better pull my socks up. We'll move on to, leads us nicely on to the quarter-final draw. Rangers have been drawn against their old foes, Braga, in the quarterfinals, and the first leg's due to take place on the 7th of April. That'll be in Portugal, and the second leg on the 14th of April. The semi-final opponents, if we get there, will be either Red Bull Leipzig or Atalanta, or Atlanta, as I like to call them. Scotia, I'll come back to you. Tie could have been a lot worse, and if we're going to be honest, there is no gimmies. I said this in the last round as well. No team really is a dud. Every team deserves to be here that's here. From reports, they are better than they were the last time we played them. So are we. But you've surely got to take that and think there's a path forming here.
Yeah, I mean, it is probably the most favourable tie. I think both, when I was watching it in BT Sport earlier today, both Rangers and Braga were down as the least favourites to go on and win the competition. We're the two teams that are not in the top 5 leagues in Europe, although Braga and Portugal, which is, you would say, is the 6th best league, about that top 5, it's us two. Yeah, probably the most favourable. Getting back to Joe Cole, I know he said beforehand that's who he wanted West Ham to get, but like you were mentioning earlier, there was a wee bit of unbiased or biased opinion and kind of not knowing the rest of European football, because at one point, once we got Braga and after it, Joe Cole again said, it's like, oh, Braga will never experienced anything like that, talking about coming to play at Ibrox. And I was like, you played them 2 years ago, mate. You know, just to have a wee bit of knowledge about what's happening in the rest of Europe, rather than being so English-centric. Although, I suppose Joe Cole is a big West Ham fan, so it's maybe like having one of us on just bouncing about when we're through to that stage. So maybe give him a wee bit of slack for that. But it's interesting you say there about them being better than the last time we played them. I've not watched an awful lot of Portuguese football this season because I scrapped Premier Sports after the kind of League Cup games. So that's the only place I can get to watch. Could have get to watch it in the past, but I was looking through their team, and the last time we played them, there was like 4 players that really impressed me, and it was that Trincao boy who went to Barca for 30 million euros odd. Paulinho went to Sporting for about 15 million euros. Paulinho, who was there in loan from Sporting, he's away back to them now, and Fran Sergio as well. So those were the kind of 4 standout players that were playing against us back 2 seasons ago for me, and they've all left. And I was looking through the transfers that have coming in for them, and there was no one that immediately jumped out for me. They've obviously got Abel Luiz, who was played against us previously. They managed to actually sign him from Barcelona, but I'll have to have a wee further look into them to see what they're like. And I know they're sitting 4th in Portugal at the minute. I think that's kind of typically where they are, because the 3 clubs above them sort of generally do run away with it. But overall, I think, and for the quarterfinals, that's a pretty favourable tie. I'm feeling confident that we can get through it, if I'm honest. But I equally say that Braga are probably in the same boat, to be honest. That I would say if you speak to Braga fans, they'll probably be sitting there going, no, Rangers would have been the best tie that we could have hoped for to progress further onwards. And then, like you say, we'll come to the Atalanta, Frankfurt, whoever it's going to be, if we get there. Well, we should get there, hopefully. But I didn't, obviously, we can maybe tap into Diallo a wee bit as well, because he went to Man U from Atalanta. So he could maybe give us some inside tracks in that.
Did you say Frankfurt? Is it Leipzig or is it Frankfurt?
It's Eintracht. I know it's Eintracht Frankfurt, is it not? Oh, I forget.
I don't know. Somebody tell me. I thought it was Atlanta and Leipzig. My goodness.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
It is.
Sorry.
God's sake, Scotia, you make me doubt myself, because you usually very good with stats, mate. So when you said it, I was like, hang on, if I get that
kick
wrong...
him off. Get him off. Honestly, one job.
One job, mate. One job's to make sure your stats are right. Yes, it is Leipzig. Ally, you've already messaged me asking me if I'm going to Portugal, mate. This is it's not favourable. I don't want to say that because it makes it sound like I'm kind of saying that we're already through. However, yes, we all wanted West Ham. Yes, we all wanted Barcelona. But to get this, it's probably the best tie for us for a chance to get to the semis.
No, it is. I looked at the bookies this morning in terms of who they think is going to win the Europa League, and they had Braga bottom of the pile, followed by Eintracht Frankfurt, and then I think it was us after that, 16-1. But they had Braga at 40-1. So yeah, I had a look at Braga today. I'm in Scotia's camp. I don't think they're as good as when we played them 2 years ago. They've lost like Scotia lined off their players. I know they've still got Ruiz, but they've lost quite a few players from when we played them. So I mean, there's no mugs of this. Doesn't matter who we play. There's no mugs. I mean, Red Star were no mugs either. I know we won at 4-2, but they could probably say they were hard done by in a few. They were unlucky at times, but that'll be tough. We've been there. Most of that team have played that game, so they know what it's about. It's a cracking stadium out there. I think it was about 7,000 Rangers fans were out there last time, so I'd imagine it'll be that again going across. So, it's achievable. It really is. And if you get past that, I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, but if you get past that, you're in the semis, and you never know what happens. And I did want the away fixture first, and I wanted the home fixture second. And that's what we got. I think that's, I don't know if it's an advantage or not, but I just prefer as a fan going to the second leg knowing if whatever you need to do, that's you through to the next round if you achieve what you need to do. But it's, I wanted West Ham a Barca like everyone else, but when I got Braga, I thought, no, we've got a wee chance here. We do have a wee chance. And like I said to you, I was looking at flights today to Braga. It's there's direct flights to Manchester. There's one direct flight to Edinburgh. There's ways of getting there. It looks a nice place. I know. Dixie, he was out there 2 years ago, and he said it was a great place as well. So I never know. I might end up going out there.
Yeah, I don't know if I would get the time off work. However, I am not scared to ask the question. That is for
Carney,
sure. Yes,
just as well. The last time we were in the European quarter-final, it was a Portuguese team we had in the quarter-finals as well.
Go on, Lisbon.
Just saying.
I was about to say, mate, I don't know if I can trust your stats anymore, but that one is correct.
That's true.
Yes. That one is correct. No,
and it was an Italian team in the semi-final.
Was it? Oh, so was Fiorentina, yeah, so it was.
No.
Oh, God, don't, because I'll get too excited thinking about it. I'll get far too excited thinking about it. No, I mean, and even in the set, getting through to the... If we get through to the semi-finals, we are going to miss Barca, we are going to miss West Ham, who I would say are arguably better than what Braga are. I don't think there's really any great doubt in that. So, yeah, it's exciting times. I think the Leipzig and Atalanta game will be close. I think they're probably quite evenly matched. On paper, I would probably say Atalanta have probably got more chance than Leipzig do, but anything can happen at this stage in the competition. And I think it's crucial that even if we get to the semi-finals, not only there's a quarter-final, first leg away from home, so is the semi-final. That first leg of that's away from home as well. So that's really good, really, really good. And because of the no away goal rules, it's not go there and just survive. It's keep the tie alive. But Scotia, I suppose, we said just keep the tie alive against Dortmund and we beat them 4-2, so we should be feeling pretty confident.
Yep. It's not back to the water days away in Europe.
No, definitely not. So yeah, really, really good. What an exciting time. Scotia, April's going to be very expensive, mate. There's potential of 3 old firms. Obviously the 2 European ties in the quarter-final, potentially the first leg of the semi-final if we get there. And obviously we need to pay for the cup game as well. So if you'd like to buy the podcast a coffee, then go to buythepodcastcoffee.com. But this is, Scotia, this is what football's all about. This is why you want to be involved in football. You want your club to be involved in this. You don't want your club to be coming towards the end of a season and not really be involved in chasing anything. We're in 3 competitions here with a fighting chance to be successful in some of them. God, I get carried away there.
It is definitely what you want, and that's one of the great things about being a Rangers fan. We're usually at least one of them were usually in and about, and probably more likely two of them at this time of the season that were usually in and about it. And I just can't wait for it the whole April. It's going to be great. Like I said last night, the wallets and the livers are going to be completely ruined come the 1st of May.
Absolutely. Ali, Ali, if you pay for Portugal, then that seems the most fairest thing to do. I mean, you pulled out given the £100 to the charity foundation, mate. I had to pay that, unfortunately. But I think you should pay for Braga, mate, and then we'll see. Honestly, when I think about it, I'm trying to add it up in my head, and I'm going, that's a lot of money. But as I said, mate, this is where you want to be at this time of the season. You want your team to be involved in all these competitions, and the players should be relishing this.
Yeah, well, hopefully Ryan won at Cheltenham, so if he's won at Cheltenham, he can pay for it. So
yeah, he can pay for it.
I'll be texting him after this just to make sure he's won and just tell him to put that money away for a Club at 22 European adventure. That'd be an absolute riot for us out there, especially Scotia out there. God,
you know, mate. We've all said it before. We've been abroad with Scotia before, and Scotia goes abroad. We go on a trip, but Scotia just goes away.
Yeah, he's just there on the plane. Yeah,
he's just
the plane there and back. That's it.
Yeah.
So I would just need to see what happens with it. But it's a frightening April. It could go absolutely brilliant for us, or it could go against us because it's a lot of football we're playing. So you want to be in these big games. You want to be. This is you're coming to the end of the season. You want to be in every big game, but it could handicap us going forward in the league. Possibly, I'd like to think not, because I think the players will be up for it. But it could go two ways. So we'll just need to see what happens, because it did happen when we got to Manchester all those years ago, and obviously you know what happened in terms of fixtures. They made us play 10 games in 10 days or something, so no doubt that'll happen again if we need to do that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Yes, but again, it's just so exciting. It's very exciting to think of all, to think that we're in this stage of the competition, and yeah, as I say, everything just seems to be coming to a bit of a crescendo, and I'm trying my hardest not to get carried away, but if you can't dream now, you never can. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't have got to where we have, but we've earned our place to get here. We really have absolutely earned it. Beating Borussia Dortmund the way we did, the way we managed to come through that tie, 6-4 on aggregate. We should be aiming high, and not too high, but aiming high. So we'll move on. We'll quickly touch on the Super Sydney Cup debacle. It's in serious doubt, as it was claimed the other day. There are unresolved issues with the organisers' reports that the launch of the event may have been premature. Scotia, who would have thought that you can't trust a team in a certain city in Scotland, starts with a G, ends in a W, and it's the east side of it, and there's a team that plays there, to make a meal of things, really? Look, if the club have any way of getting out of this because of whatever's happened, whatever the unresolved issues are, the club have to pull the plug on it, because this is still like a fart in a spacesuit, this.
Yeah, if we can get out of it, then fantastic. I was trying to dig for kind of some news on it today. I've not been keeping up with it too much this week, but I was trying to look for stuff today. Couldn't really find much. Just found a couple of conflicting reports. Some saying that it's because of X and Y, and then others saying it's because of these other things. So I'm not entirely sure what it is, but yeah, it does look as if it's in a wee bit of doubt. I did say to you when Bisgrove came out and done his interviews, like with Rangers TV and then also in Heart and Hand, I got the impression that he felt that they'd been blindsided by Celtic releasing it, which, as I said at the time, we all knew they were going to. That would be something they would do. But I get that feeling that was going to happen, and yeah, if we can get out of it, then great, because I found a good wee article from this. What is it from? The Sydney Courier, was it? The Sydney Morning Herald it was. And it was the supporter, the guy was one of the guys from Orsa was on it, their representative speaking about it. And I think they had a bit of concerns about segregation and stuff like that in the city for the whole week. And then right at the end, one of the Australian guys, might be the organiser of stuff or something to do with the city itself, just came out and said, "Don't be a dickhead." to any fans that were going. But I love the Aussies for that kind of the way they kind of come across and do stuff like that. But if it can get binned, then brilliant. We shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. You know, they should have spoke to Heart and Hand. They should have spoke to Four Lads. They should have spoke to Follow. You know, media partners with them, and kind of get their opinion, because I'm fairly certain. Well, no, they would have all went round. Not speaking for them, but from what I've heard them say on their own podcasts and things like that and blogs, they would have all turned round and said, "No, none of us want it."
Yeah, Ali, I'm without even asking. Yeah, I know, mate. We're just in full agreement with Scotia there, are we not?
Yeah, if we can get out of it, let's get out of it. I'd imagine, though, if Rangers did pull out of it, even if it was going ahead, there'd probably be a financial penalty in that contract, possibly, because it is sold as it.
Ian Ross has said there it cost the club $1 million. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not going to. I mean, it'd be speculation, really, at this point for me.
I don't know if that figure's true or not. I don't know where Ian got that.
But it would cost the club money. It would.
Yeah. They would be in that contract. They would be penalised to pull out of that. So if there's a way that it somehow comes to an end in some other way and Rangers can pull out, then I think they will, because Rangers have now got through to the quarter-final. We've talked about it. They've got through to the quarter-finals of the Europa League, which brings in money, gate receipts. That alone is probably what we're getting going out of Sydney, to be honest. Yep. So Rangers probably they wouldn't have banked on us getting to where we are in Europe, so that's a bit of a bonus for Rangers this season. So yeah, I think they'll look at it the way the fans have been, in terms of they know we're not happy, so if there's a way they could get out of it, I think they will, Rangers.
I think they have to, for the sake of their longevity at the club, the board, they have to get out of it, because they've just made a mess of this. They really have just got it wrong. And the it's plain and simple possible way. They've got it completely wrong. I'd imagine it's not going to cost them more than what they would get. I honestly think for their sake, they should pay whatever they have to pay to get out of it, because no, it's really not on. I'm up for going to see Rangers in any country, but for that game on that month, I will not be going anywhere near Australia. Unfortunately, I don't think I will.
Carney.
Yes, mate.
Sorry, I was going to jump in. What a lot of people have been saying over the past, ever since this kind of broke, is we've got three footballing partners in Orange County, Hamburg and Bengaluru. They could arrange a friendly over in Glasgow, and you would sell out Ibrox, and you would
100%
£1 million money back. So particularly
you going for Bisgrove's job there, Scotia? You going for Bisgrove's job?
Yeah.
Watch out,
Bisgrove.
Sits in that wee room with his spreadsheets and his coefficient spreadsheets and figures out where he can take over James Bisgrove's job. But you're right, mate. If you announced a mini tournament like that in Glasgow at Ibrox over that period, however it was going to be, and you're bringing Hamburg over, you will sell out Ibrox. There is absolutely no doubt about it. You would, because the Germans would come over for it as well, and what an experience it would be for us as well, having them all drinking in the city centre, drinking in the down Paisley Road West with us. It would be superb. It really would be top class, because they've just not thought it through. It just seems like they've went, oh, that's really good, there's a lot of money there, let's do that, and then they've done it and then went, oh, hang on, what about the fans? Which is the wrong way to be. We are this football club. We are the reason the football club is what it is, and they've done us wrong here. They really have. I'm still yet to hear of one person that is like 100% fully up for this. I have spoke to people that have said they are happy enough to go and watch it, yes, but they might not agree so much with it. I don't know, even if when it comes to it, if we are still going, what I'll decide to do with covering it or not. I really don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. Being a staunch Blue Nose, I'll probably end up well, but it would be a rather difficult one. Right, anyway, let's move on from that. Let's stay away from that, and we'll move on to the actual firm. Has been confirmed for Sunday at 2 p.m. One good thing about Premier Sports, Ali, I would say.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that time. It means that we can get a bevy down Paisley Road before and we can jump in that bus. So that's what I was thinking of straight away.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, so that means we can get a wee breakfast in, a couple of bevies on the bus down, and get back to Page Road for a good time as well. So hopefully to celebrate a Rangers win. So yeah, good timing. Hearts and Hibs will be annoyed because they got the Saturday at 12, half 12, whatever it was. So they've got that long journey along the M8 for them. So that'll be a hard one for them to get along there, that 50-minute journey. So I feel for them, but no, it's a great, and like I said, it's Easter weekend, it's Easter Sunday. We're all off on a Monday, so
Yeah.
it'll be an absolute carnage. I know it's going to be carnage. The cops they'll be dreading this weekend. Hibs and Hearts coming to the Edinburgh teams, and then they've got us on the Sunday, so they'll be dreading it. But looking forward to it. Well, I'm and aren't looking forward to it because mine is same with you, Carn. I mean, our record at Hampden the last 5 years, 6 years is absolutely horrific. It is horrific. I can only go back to when we beat Hearts, I think it was 3-0. Hollander and Morelos got 2 in the semi-final. I think that was a League Cup possibly. But apart from that, we've been beaten. I mean, I think we've scored a goal in a lot of these games. Apart, well, heaven we scored against Hibs 3-1, but our record at Hampden is absolutely abysmal. And you know, I like the laws of averages, Carney. It's due to change at one point.
Yeah, on this occasion, mate, I will let you have that. That's saying I'm more than happy for you to have that. I had a good run when I was younger at Hampden. I've seen a lot of successful times in Hampden. I hate the place with a passion. I can't stand going there, but I do obviously still go. And it's about time our form changes and cup competitions, because it's not been good enough since we got back to rightly where we were meant to be, and it hasn't been good enough. So it's about time things change. Scotia, were you laughing at a comment and then you see me read it and then you So I think Curry Muncher's referring here to the decision for Sydney. The Sydney Cup thing Rangers made, and he said, as popular a decision as getting Susan Boyle as a stripper for your mate's stag do. That is pretty much spot on. Yes, that is pretty much spot on. Scotia, 2:00 on a Sunday, mate. You have to slightly behave the night before, but you'll be all right, I'd imagine.
Yeah, looking forward to it. No, looking forward to it, because usually on a Sunday it's 12. I was thinking last time I'm not sure if it's definitely the last time we might have played them in between, but was it not Easter weekend, the game that we won in extra time with the Barry Mackay goal? Was that not Easter weekend as well?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember that.
But I can't remember what time it kicked off at.
We used it that game.
No, we were in the pub for that. No, we were in the pub for that.
I was there. I was there.
Yeah, no, so 2 on a Sunday is absolutely ideal. Perfect time. It's enough time for people to get there from further afield than sort of just local to the Glasgow area. And yeah, and similarly as well, it's an ideal time for getting home, because the public transport on a Sunday sort of evening is ridiculous in Glasgow at times at the moment.
You've got Ali's, mate. You sleep on Ali's couch, man. You sleep in your own bed, mate. What are you talking about?
You've got a spare room you can sleep in.
No, I don't. I don't have a spare room. Unfortunately, it's now becoming the Wayne's room. So no, I don't have a spare room anymore.
But seeing all that, the draws coming out. One of the downsides for it is I think it's only live in Premier Sports, so it means that people that aren't going to the game, have to watch it through Premier Sports. I don't think it's on Council Telly, so that's a wee bit of a downside of it in that respect for folk that aren't going along to the game or can't get to the pub to watch it or don't want to go to the pub to watch it. And then also just the way that Hearts and Hibs get absolutely shafted with that 12:15 kick-off on Saturday.
I know, it's a shocker.
That really tickled me.
That's a shocker, that for them, that really is. Not that I care. And completely unrelated, and I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way, but completely unrelated, the club are sponsored by somebody called NordVPN. Maybe check that out if you're wanting to watch the game. That's all I'm saying. Possibly it might work. I don't know. Never tried it. But I'm just putting that out there. Right, gentlemen, we'll move on to the Dundee preview now. Again, it's hard to preview a team that the last game they played was us. So you're like, right, okay, what do you say about Dundee? There was no press conference today. Gio did release an interview with RTV, just talking about the draw, about Braga. didn't really give too much away, as you would expect. He never does, saying it was a huge thing, etc., etc. He was asked about the squad news, and he didn't really say anything at all. Like, there was nothing really in it. So a bit of a strange one. I'm going to presume everybody is fit apart from Hadji and Davis. Unsure about it. So, Ali, I think the only thing about Sunday is it's at noon, and noon on a Sunday away for Rangers is very rarely a good thing.
Yeah, and you'll probably come on to it. They're wearing a certain kit as well, which I give me the feel.
No, God, I know, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yes, they
I
are.
seen that. I seen
Yes.
the email today for Rangers, and I went, "What's this? They've sent me again." And I read it and I went, "Oh no, please." After the high of last night, the Rangers gave me a wee low there. When I seen that, I thought, "No,
Yeah,
I've seen this
Ali's
before. I've seen this movie before."
Ali is referring to, we are going to be wearing the Gallant Pioneer top on Sunday. It's a weird, before we go in fact onto that, it's a weird game to do it, and it's not
Why
even
not do it at
Ibrox,
Ibrox?
you know
I know it's
yeah.
bizarre. I thought they would have done the Aberdeen game, but apparently they didn't ask permission or something. But it's weird. But I mean, all I want is 3 points. We need 3 points. A draw, a loss is no use to us. We need 3 points. I think Gio alluded to that in that wee 5-minute interview he did today. We need to win. We need to park Europe. We've done that. We've had the draw. We'll look forward to that in a couple of weeks. But this is the last game before the international break, and we need to go up there and get 3 points. Dundee are an awful team. We've seen that last week. They are not a good team. So we need to go up there and do a professional job, get the 3 points, come down the road, and obviously we can rest up. And a lot of players will be away, and then we play them obviously in 2 weeks' time. But 3 points is a must on Sunday. It is a must, and I'm confident because Dundee aren't a great team, but I expect changes in the Rangers team for Sunday.
Yeah, I would expect a wee bit of rotation, I think, in the squad. But I just want, as I say, 3 points is all that really matters. Scotia, your thoughts ahead of the game? It's difficult, mate, because I say we don't have anything to go on. They aren't a very good team. It really is just 3 points and down the road.
Yeah, it needs to be. I mean, you're right. It is difficult. I mean, last week was a cup game, so you would think Dundee would be up for it. But obviously, at the moment, where they are in the league, I mean, it's them and St Johnstone playing like a loser takes all kind of thing in terms of who's going automatically down this season. So will they be more up for this because it's vital for their league survival than they were for the cup game? That's an odd one for me. You would think a team like Dundee would perhaps be more up for the cup, but they really do need to start kind of picking up points because otherwise, yeah, like I say, it's them and St Johnstone's kind of fighting it out for who goes down first. They're not a great side. Obviously, Ashcroft went off with that injury against us, and I think he's kind of touch and go on whether or not he'll be playing. I think Charlie Adams, the same, that he's maybe not fully back yet. In terms, I think he maybe had further COVID test things to take. Did see that Mark McGee's now finally, after the 6-game continued dugout ban and COVID kind of stuff, that he's now finally back in the dugout for Dundee, I believe. So yeah, it's difficult to judge Dundee because they're not a great side, and we strolled the game really last week. So I'm expecting, to be honest, more of the same. And it's the last game before the international break. I know there was an interview with Ross Wilson as well today. He was saying we've got about 18 or so players away in international duty. That'll obviously include some of the under 21 players, but a fair bunch going. So it's one of these ones where you just go and put everything out, empty the tank before the break, so that we maintain the kind of, at least maintain what we've got at the moment before that Old Firm game.
Yeah, and I know we always have a laugh and a joke about we should probably rename this podcast and not call it the preview, because we get to the last 5 minutes and be like, oh, we better preview our next game, by the way, when there's so much to talk about. But to be fair, with this one, I mean, it's hard to preview a game that you've already played last week, so it's hard they've not played another game. We obviously have, so I suppose it is what it is. A podcast first here, gentlemen. This has never happened before while we've actually been live on air. Dundee Taylor has bought us some coffee, so thank you very much, Dundee Taylor. That is very much appreciated.
I'll pay for your pint tomorrow, Scotia.
That's Scotia's beer for tomorrow. Yes, thank you very much. Absolutely superb. Right, we'll get into the teams. Scotia, I'll come back to you, mate. What do you think the team is going to be? And give me a score prediction while you're there.
Yes, I don't think there'll be overly many changes. I don't think there's a need to. I think there was perhaps a bigger need last week because we had Europe coming up as well. But as I say, because it's now the international break, I think we can go with a fairly strong team. So I'm going McGregor in goals, Tavernier, Goldson, Helander and Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack and Ramsey, and then Diallo, Roof and Kent.
I thought you said there wasn't a lot of changes, Scotia. You just changed half a team.
1, 2, 3.
It's like unrecognisable. Like
not a lot of changes, but I'll change half a team.
Diallo, man, what? No, I completely disagree with that.
I'm kind of doubling down in Diallo, to be honest, for him to start one game because I need to be right one of these times, and he actually does need to start playing, contributing.
So what's your score?
Going 4-0 Rangers with Roof first goal scorer.
Jeez, man, Scotia, you drinking tonight, Scotia? Are you okay?
Just some orange juice.
Ali, your teammate and your score prediction.
I'm not as mental as Scotia there. That was to be fair, Scotia done quite a drastic change for the Dundee game last week, I think, and he was nowhere near it.
It's fair. In fact, it's pretty much the exact same team that I picked last week. To be fair,
I don't know if that's a team you're just hoping for every week, Scotia, but I don't know why you'd be hoping for that team every week. But I'd be very surprised. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. I'm going with McGregor in goal, Tav, Goldson. I agree with Scotia. I think Helander will come in. Bassey for me stays at left back. You might not like this, Carney, but I think Ryan Jack could do with a slight rest. I thought he was looking a bit tired on Thursday night. So my midfield's going to be Kamara, Lundstrom and Aaron Ramsey. I think he'll come back. And the top three will be Ryan Kent, Alfredo Morelos and Joe Aribo. Now, I think Joe Aribo needs a rest. I'm hoping. I don't know if he's away with Nigeria or whatever, but I would still put him in there, Joe Aribo. So that's my team. And I'm going to go same as last week, 3-0, and Ryan Kent to score first again.
Because he has scored, yes. I know. Thank God Kent scored. Honestly, like I know it's a deflected goal, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm just so happy that he got his goal. He honestly deserved it, something chronic. Quickly for I do my team, Paul has said we could have saved the top for playing them at Ibrox. I could not have. I physically could not have dealt with that. Like the nerves of wearing a new top after the kind of hoodoo of it all, if you like, of the tops. No, nice sentiment to do, but no, not for me. Not.
See the top that we're playing in. Is it going to have a sponsor on it as well?
Yes.
Did I see that correctly? Yeah, I don't like the look of that.
Is it the white top's going to have a sponsor on it?
Yeah,
I know they probably have to do that.
I think it's the Unibet.
That gives me more of the fear of that. God.
Yeah. And it's
that looks weird, that top with a
blue,
sponsor on it. Aye.
Yeah, it's the Unibet one, I think. I don't think you can buy it like it. I heard on the Heart and Hands daily update today on my way home from work that you can go into the store and they'll put it on your top. I don't imagine it would be free. I don't think it is free. I can't remember. I wouldn't imagine it would be free. But you can go in and get it put on. I don't know why you would do that. Honestly, that's another thing of the whole corporate thing that does my head in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't commercialise and all. You don't need to do that. Like, for one game, you don't need to do it.
We've got that here. We've got that top for the Legends game next week as well. That was £68.
Man, honestly, I've not ordered mine, mate. I didn't order mine because I want to go see it first. I did see somebody with one, and it didn't look the same as it did in the pictures. So
I think it's a bit of a gimmick, to be honest. £68. I think they're taking a piss, to be honest, Christopher.
Yeah, just slightly. Yes.
Jamie Lowe's probably bought it. To be fair, he's probably been taken by it.
Jamie probably has. Jamie, if you're watching, let us know if you've got it. I would, yeah, I was just about the 19th top this season. Do you know what I mean? So it should have been the home top. If they'd done it properly, that should have been the home top. But I will wait and see it in person. I usually do that with tops anyway. I'm never usually one that up to the orders unless I'm like, that's an absolute nailer. That is a nailer, but I still thought I would wait. Where was I? What was I doing? Did I do? My team. Yes, my team. God, I went all over the place there. My team is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Hollander, Bassey, Kamara, Sands, Ramsey, Kent, Arfield, and Morelos. I think Scott Arfield will come back in. I don't think Aribo will play. I don't think Jack will play either. He wasn't particularly great on Thursday. See, I can be a big man and say it when he wasn't particularly good last night. He wasn't great. So I think, and I think Lundstrom, guys, the amount of effort he's putting into games, he'll probably come out. And Sands did really well the last weekend, so he probably deserves another chance to start. So I'll go with Sands. I'll go for 2-0 Rangers. And I'll go for Aaron Ramsey to score first. There you go. You heard it here first. Aaron Ramsey's going to score a worldie. So the game is 12 noon on Sky Sports. Yes, on Sky Sports. 12 noon on Sunday. Just 3 points, please. 3 points, Rangers, and just get home. No dramas, no mess ups, no anything. Just 3 points. Let's go. That would be plenty. So usually we wrap up. Go.
Sorry, Carney. I was just before you go on about what you're going on there. I don't know if you just have a couple of minutes discussing. We're all going to the B team game tomorrow.
Yes,
the Rangers Celtic B team.
I'm potentially going.
Well, me and Scotia are definite. Are going. I think Dixie's coming as well. But it's 1 o'clock. I think everyone knows, to be honest. But it's a 1 o'clock kick-off at Ibrox tomorrow. £10 for adults. I'm not sure what it is for kids. It's probably about a £5, to be honest. The whole of the Govan stands open, so the weather looks great tomorrow. I think it's a good one to take kids to if they've never been to Ibrox before. I think that's ideal to take them to. I don't know what your thoughts are. Obviously, we've been to a B team game down at Dumbarton against not a very good opposition. We all did want to see them against a decent one. I'd imagine Celtic's team are of a similar level to our lads, so I think it'll be competitive, and I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Lowry. McCann, I know Allegri won't be there, but the boy at left back, Scotia, who we signed in January, I can't say his name. I forgot what his name was, but there's a few players in there. I'm looking forward to see, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are.
If I can go, if I can go, then I'm looking forward to it. It'd be interesting to see. It's I've never watched an Old Firm game that's not the actual.
I'll be going mental. Don't worry.
I know you will. I know that's kind of why I'm in two minds about going. To be honest with you, nothing to do with anything else, any family stuff or nothing. It's all about sitting next to you while you shout at youngsters. You'll be like the dad at the. Yeah,
I'll be that angry dad.
You'll be that angry dad at the kids' games, mate. Yeah, you would get banned from all sorts, mate. No, look, it's massive, and it's a good experience for the young lads to play at Ibrox on an occasion like this. At the end of the day, if they're going to make it, they're going to need to get used to it. So it's a great thing for them to do, to play at Ibrox, and for the price it is, it's going to be a lovely day by all forecasts that I've seen. It's going to be a lovely day. So it'd be good to come along to it. Hopefully I shall be there, but if I am going, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it will be something good to watch. Obviously we did go watch what was that team called, man? Why do I always forget? What were they called?
Vale of Leithen. Thank you. Go, Scotia. Redeemed yourself.
Thank you, Scotia. Yes, and that wasn't really a game. To be honest, it was shooty in for the Rangers B team that day. A few of them did impress, though. A few of them really did impress, and hopefully Lowry is in the team for tomorrow. It'd be good to see. Scotia, your thoughts ahead of it?
Yeah, I think he's going to be disappointed because I doubt Lowry will be in that team. I'm pretty sure he's been promoted into the first team full time. I may be wrong, but
don't ruin tomorrow for me already.
But no, you will.
That to the teams come out.
No, Tony Weston's been knocking them in with the plan. I think he's up to about 35 goals now this season, so I'm
That's
looking
right.
forward to seeing him. Obviously with Allegri going to put out and loan to Partick Thistle as well. Tony Weston seems to be the one that's kind of the catch in the eye at the moment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Cracking day. I was just having a wee look at the tickets for it there, and there's still quite a limited availability in the Govan front, but there's looks as if to be a few tickets still remaining up in the Govan rear. So if anyone is wanting to go along,
Where are we sitting?
Govan front.
Oh, I'm going to be
Sun will be right
blinded,
in our
man.
eyes.
I'm not even going to be able to see the game. Oh, this. Everybody, look, if people come in saying, am I not allowed carnet? It's got nothing to do with that, man. My missus would let me go to the football. Honestly, she would. Nothing to do with that, honestly. Right, anyway, gentlemen, that'll do us for that. Usually we would wrap up, but quickly we'll just have a wee talk about Ally McCoist since she's our 150-year figure. Where to start with Ally McCoist, Pearson? An icon to many. The guy that we grew up watching scoring goals and broke Moonhowler's hearts, mate, time after time after time. He lived the dream.
Oh, I did. He was my hero growing up. During 9 in a row, as a wee boy, I had McCoist in the back of my top. I actually still have that top, and my niece actually wore it to her first ever Rangers game at the age of 4. She had McCoist in the back. So that was quite a cool wee moment.
Yeah.
She would have a clue what was going on, to be honest. But he's what can you say about McCoist? He is like Mr. Rangers. The amount of goals he scored for Rangers, crucial goals. Like you say, he's broke their hearts many a time. The celebrations against him is outstanding. His overhead goal against Hibs in the League Cup final to make it 2-1 when he came back for injury. I know a lot of folk are going about his stint as Rangers manager, but he had to put up with stuff that no other Rangers manager ever had to. So, like I say, when I've talked about McCoist before at UCarney, I don't look at him as the manager of what happened to him in his managerial career at Rangers. I look at the player and what he's brought to Rangers as a football club, and he was an outstanding guy. And what he's doing, I think he's happy what he does now. See him doing his pundit training, he's brilliant at it. He's absolutely outstanding at it. And I think he's happy there. And I want him to continue to do that. I wouldn't want him to get back into the football management, and because it aged him at Rangers. It did. You can see him now. Yeah. He's like Benjamin Button. He's getting younger now a wee bit now. So he does look better. He looks happier now. And I just hope he just stays with what he's doing, because he's good at what he does. And obviously Scotia's rubbed shoulders with him in terms of that movie, A Shot of Glory, which is another thing Scotia's been in. Scotia will probably talk about that. You'll probably bring that on when he talks about McCoist. But to me, he's my hero growing up, and he always will. He's up there with Walter in terms of big figures with Rangers with me. And I can't speak more highly about Ally McCoist.
He is just. It's hard to really put into words about Ally McCoist, and it wouldn't have been Scotia. It wouldn't have been correct not to be doing kind of important figures to us, to the club, and not have Ally McCoist in here. I mean, our greatest ever goal scorer. The guy he was everything it was to be a Rangers striker. He really was.
Yep, like that. He probably wasn't my best favourite player for me personally, but he's certainly numbered very, very like a very close number 2 to who I've got as the top one. Yeah, he's absolutely love McCoist.
Richard Goff's your top one.
Of course it is. Yes, of course it is. Yeah, McCoist was absolutely brilliant as a player. Loved watching him, and like you say, when you're pretty young, before you actually just start playing football yourself and know where your kind of best position is, when you were younger, that bit younger, it was McCoist that you wanted to be. Certainly for me it was. The way I look at McCoist, particularly when you associate him with Rangers, there's 3 kind of different sides to McCoist. There's the player that Ali talked about really well there. There's the coach, I would say, which is the one that he wasn't great as a coach. And then there's the kind of ambassador manager type person that he was during all the nonsense that we had, because having him there during going down to the 3rd tier through the liquidation and administration stuff, it was vital that we had McCoist, and McCoist kind of kept us all together, and you can't overlook how important it was during that period. Yes, the coaching side with the teams and stuff wasn't great, but as like a manager, sort of statesman type of person, figurehead, he was absolutely vital, and I love him to pieces for that.
Yes, I always will. I think there was a wee bit of still a wee bit of controversy the way it happened with Smith, with McCoist being manager during our time in the lower leagues, but I can't take away from the guy that he continued to stand by the club, and he only ever wanted what was best for Glasgow Rangers. That was it. That's all he ever wanted, and I can't ask much more than that. He's a legend. He will be forever remembered, probably, most definitely, as the most successful goal scorer of modern history, in Rangers modern history. So, yeah, absolutely had to bring up Super Ally McCoist. That'll do us for tonight, gentlemen. Alistair, thank you very much, mate, and hopefully I see you tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Scotia, you bring your suntan lotion tomorrow because it's to be a Scorcher. No, I'm looking.
Taps on, but Scotia, you need to keep your tap on.
Taps
mate,
off,
right?
Scotia. The birds will be wanting that. Taps off for you. But let's say I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's a good game to go to. There's no pressure in terms of watching it. Have a couple of bevies, and it's obviously the weather's going to be great. So I look forward to it, lads. So I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
and we'll maybe have a wee match reaction as well. Sorry, we'll try and bring a video on it as well. Even if you can't come, Carney, me and Scotia will do one.
100%, go take the words out of my mouth, mate. Yes, we will bring you something will be brought tomorrow at some point. We'll stick it up tomorrow, no doubt. Scotia, thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, cheers, enjoyed that one tonight. Lads, I see Paul McCracken put a comment there saying is the game on Rangers TV tomorrow? I'm fairly certain.
Do you want to try and attempt his name again?
McGarrigle.
He said McCracken. I was like, what?
No, sorry. Well, if it came across as that, it's maybe my mic, my Wi-Fi.
Apologise to Paul, Scotia. Christ.
Yeah, apologise. You say sorry.
Murdered his name there.
Yeah.
No, I'm fairly certain it is on RTV. Yeah.
Is it on RTV?
I'm fairly certain it is. And if it's one of these that's blocked in the UK, like Carney, you said, NordVPN's there for you.
Completely unrelated, mate, but the club are sponsored by NordVPN. Completely unrelated to anything I do with RTV or anything like that. So, yes. No, brilliant. I say, hopefully I will be there tomorrow and we'll bring you some form of video from after the game. Hopefully discuss an old firm Rangers win. That would be nice to set us up on this kind of crazy month or so we're about to have. So yeah, as always, thank you to everybody for getting involved in the comments. It's always a right laugh. It's very difficult doing both. However, I do love when everybody comes in with the comments and Curry Muncher continuously try to put us off by laughing at things. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be back tomorrow with some form of reaction after the B team game, and we will definitely be back after the game on Sunday with a club reaction. So until we speak to you then, we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you all next time. Cheers.